Hey everyone, how's it going? Daniel here, coming to you all the way from Savannah, Georgia. I'm in my office right now where I have a little bit of a mini setup going. So first of all, just let me say Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us again. It's definitely been a while, and I believe this is now Season 3, Episode 2. I have a church talk for you all that I hope you enjoy. And man, that sounds so bad. I am so sorry. That has been so long and it's taken us so long to get our episodes out to you guys. That's actually on me. I've been struggling quite a bit with getting into a routine and a schedule of things. So I definitely haven't had as much time as I thought I would to record and edit and things like that. But that is one of the goals that I have for this year, to get a little bit more consistent with my time and how I do things, so that I can have more time to record episodes like this for you all. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually a senior pastor now in Savannah, Georgia. If you're joining us for the first time, I started just about maybe 6 months ago, I think. And I have a church in Savannah, which is where my wife and I live. And then I have another church in Brunswick, which is about an hour away. So you can just, you can imagine that the commute and everything like that, along with everything that comes with church ministry, has been pretty challenging. But it's actually been a lot of fun, and I've actually enjoyed the opportunity to be here as well. So today I do have a church talk for you guys, and I actually just wanted to share a few things, just maybe 2 or 3 lessons that I feel like are very important, and just some things that I have learned in my short time here, being in church ministry and being the senior pastor of 2 churches, which you can imagine hasn't left me with a whole lot of time. So I definitely just wanted to share a couple of things that I have learned that has helped me out a lot, and just maybe some things that I'm keeping in mind for the new year as I do things. And so the first lesson that I want to share with you guys is that I've learned that there's really no end to things. There's always something that I can be doing, and even when I do think I reached the end of my day or the end of a certain project or task, there's always something else that I could be tackling or that I could be doing. And so I've just learned that if I don't intentionally take the time to stop or take breaks or take vacations or things like that, I could literally just keep going and going and going. And so if you're actually interested, my wife and I actually came up with a schedule for me. My wife is really great at those kinds of things, and so she's helped me come up with a weekly schedule of how to manage my time, so that I make sure that I have time to take care of church stuff as well as make time for other things. And so if that's something that you're interested in seeing, let me know. I can link something in the description down below and even link it in our podcast, but just let me know if that's something that you'd like to see. But of course, whenever that happens, and I let myself kind of get carried away and just keep going with like projects and stuff, the first people that suffer, I guess, from that is my family. And so one of the first things that I've learned is that family comes first. And so that's not just in my job. I think that's applicable to other areas, other professions, other areas of life. There's always something for us to do. There's always something that can keep us going and moving. That's just the culture that we live in, and it's been actually something that's even more difficult to get a handle on, because of our cell phones and mobile devices make our schedules and notifications and things so easy to get to that, and easy to see all the time, that it's hard to disconnect from all of that. And so yeah, keeping your family first is something that is a priority, and it's something that I have learned is extremely important to keep in mind all the time. It hasn't been easy. I don't have all the answers. There are many times when I still struggle to make sure that I'm, giving my family enough time, as well as, devoting enough time for my work to get things done. But it's just something that I've had to figure out and try to keep in mind all the time. One thing that I did read that kind of has been challenging me in this area comes from the book Gospel Workers, and in it the author says this, that the world is not so much in need of great minds as of good men who are a blessing in their homes. And so that is something that has definitely been challenging me, because that is something that I want to do. I want to be a blessing for my family. I want to be something that helps my family instead of, is more of like a curse to them or something like that. And I think a lot of you would agree too that all of us, who are married or who live at home or, depending on your situation, like we all want to be blessings for our families. And so one of the ways to do that is to make sure that we make time for them, that we keep them first in our priorities, and just make sure that we're spending time with them. This can also mean that taking vacation days, and while you're on vacation, disconnecting from work. So maybe leaving your phone at home or turning those notifications off, disconnecting from email and things like that. It's very difficult, but at the same time, it's also will allow you to engage more in the moment when you are with family. And so that's just a few examples of some of the ways that I've tried to do it. And I'm still learning. Every day I learn something new. And with each, going into the year, I've only been 6 months into where I am right now. But those are just some of the challenges that I've had and some of the ways that I've tried to, kind of fix it or find a solution for it. The next lesson that I've learned is that, life is all about people. If there's anything that you cannot escape, no matter where you go or what you're doing, it is people. People are always there. People are just everywhere you go. You meet people at the grocery store. You meet people at work. You have your family is made up of people, I hope. And so it's just so like learning how to manage people and relationships and those dynamics is just something that I have learned is extremely important. And it's both a blessing and a curse because I happen to be very introverted, and so that alone has posed big challenges in my job and where I'm at. And so there are some days where I might not even feel like dealing with people, but I still have to go to that meeting, or I still have to go to that event, still have to go to that activity. And for me, being an introvert, I get a lot of my energy when I'm either by myself or focusing on something that brings me joy. And so I've had to intentionally, make sure that I have that time for myself, because the more time or the more energized I feel, the more energy I do have to expend on relationships and give of myself to other people. You can't minister from an empty tank, right? You can't help people from an empty tank, and you can't be there for your family or friends when you yourself are feeling empty. And so even though I deal with people a lot, learning how to manage people and the different temperaments and the different ideas and experiences that they come with has definitely been challenging, but it's also been extremely exciting to tackle. And so I've learned a whole lot about people and just how they do things and the way they see things. That's definitely enriched my life and how I see the world around me too. But that can be both a blessing and a curse. So that leads me into my third point, which is be the duck. All right. Let me explain a little bit of what that means. So a pastor, when I was first starting out as an associate, told me that in ministry you have to be like the duck. And the duck, whenever it rains or whenever he gets wet, or even if, God forbid, someone throws a bucket of water on him, the water kind of just slides off because of their feathers and things like that. They're kind of water resistant and things like that. And so the water just kind of slides off of them. And he taught me that, we have to be a lot like that duck whenever it, be it friends, family, colleagues, co-workers, anything like that. People can hurt you sometimes, and by the things that they say or the things that they do or the way that they treat you. And if you hold on to that, that's just going to hurt you in the long run. A lot more. And so a lot of the times, we have to learn to just kind of let that stuff slide off, not take it personally, and just kind of let it go in the end. I've learned that it takes a lot more energy to hold on to those grudges and hold on to those things than it is to just let those things go and let things work themselves out in time. That's not to say that it's an easy thing to do. I'm definitely not saying, that some of the challenges or even difficulties that we face, we just have to let it go and, not even think about the consequences or things like that, or even just ignore it. Definitely acknowledge whatever you need to acknowledge. But at the end of the day, you've got to realize that maybe some things aren't that important to hold on to. That's just my 2 cents. That's just what I think. So please let me know what you think about these things. Family comes first. It's all about people, and be the duck. Those are my 3 lessons that I learned so far in ministry. So Mario, please let me know what you think about these things. If there's anything that you want to add, or if there's anything else that someone else wants to add, please let us know in the comments down below, or send us a message. We're still on Instagram. We're still on Twitter. You can reach us out. You can reach out to us. Sorry, through any one of those methods. So we'd love to hear from you. But that's it for today. It's a short episode, but thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to being able to provide more episodes for you guys. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great start to the new year.